because it was not an easy thing. It started, there's always an expiry date for a problem. My own expiry date was April 2022. And I've come to tell God, thank you. So you give me your time. I will take like 15 to 20 minutes of your time to tell the story. Because sometimes when we read these things online, it looks like it is not real. But until you touch your own, then you will understand that some of these things we read online are true. And this is my testimony. My testimony was given in Twins Outreach Salvation Ministry. I want to thank my mommy. I will thank them specially. But let me thank God that helped me through this 6 years journey. So I was married 2014. I had issues in marriage. It wasn't by anybody's power, but issues came up. 2016, we decided the problem is too much. Let us go our separate ways. Domestic violence. It's not hidden. So let me say, it was domestic violence. I was a victim. So I moved out of the home because it wasn't coming in for me. I just gave birth to my baby. She was less than 3 or 4 months. It started, before even that time, it started. There were troubles in the marriage. I came for counseling. We prayed. We did everything. It didn't work. Make I not die inside. I left. 2016, January, I moved out of the house. No, I didn't move out. They packed my things. He said, no, do again. I said, okay. Before I will move out, I'll take your time. So that there's a background history. Some of you know it, some of you don't know it. But it is in the open, there's no need to hide. He that is down fears no fall. I don't fear anymore. But the fact that I'm alive to give this testimony is the greatest gift God has given to me. So I will tell it as it is. So we moved out. He moved me out of the house. We had an issue a night before. He kept on calling. I will not go in. Blah, blah, blah. He called my parents. He's moving me. And that night, my daddy said, leave her now. Tomorrow morning, let her go. Because he went out by 4 a.m. He started packing my bag. I ran out of the house to cease. I ran to walk so that there will be no fights. There will not be bas. That morning, I ran away. So during the time, I think he kept on communicating with my parents that he's not doing again. Around 4:30 to 5, when my office used to close, he said he's on his way with my child. I said, I called my mom, what should I do? He said, if they pack your things, go home now. Your father's house is there. They brought my load to my office. I quickly told my madam, I had to quickly go, form lie. You know, we packed, he came, I'm in front of your bank. I shut down, I went. He took me out, I was in Lekki branch. He took me to law school VI. He put me in a taxi with my baby, dressed in uniform. We left back to my father's house on the 4th or 6th of January. After that, I couldn't be emotional because it is an emotional story. We packed, we went home. Do. After he cleared, he started coming back. He is sorry. I was tired. I said, I'm not going to do again. If it's not today beating, it is tomorrow wahala. I not do again. I say I not do, I tired. So we were separated, we were estranged for that time. During that time, he kept begging, he wanted to come back. I was tired. It wasn't getting better, so I was tired. So then my dad called for a family meeting. He came, she asked me, do you want to go back? I said no. There's trouble in that marriage. Even if I go back today, tomorrow I will come back. There's no need. They asked him, do you want to continue? That was in September of 2016. He said no, he doesn't want again. So my daddy said, okay. Since 2 of you that saw yourself, say you don't want again. When I go to the village, my daddy was scheduled to go. There was something happened in the village, I think October or November. That's okay. He will make it formal in the village. That you people, 2 of you, decided in this matter. I think we have a witness, Pastor John. He was there that day. He was told, he's a friend, he's a pastor to Tochukwu, that's my husband, that's his husband's name. He was the one who came. 2 of us decided in that parlor, we are not doing again. He was a witness, he's here. The truth is that it's an irreconcilable difference. We have tried to reconcile. We've gone for prayers. We've gone deliverance. We've gone for counseling. It didn't work. The two parties didn't work. So the two parties decided and said they are not doing it again. This was in September. Then my dad brought up the issue of welfare. Since the baby was like, I gave birth in April. This thing happened in September. She was like 6 or 7 months old. Okay, how are we going to do the baby? He said, no, the baby is his own. He will take us to court. But daddy said, it has not reached court now. This baby, even if you take the baby 6 months, you can't take care of the child. Let the baby be with the child. Let the baby be with the mother. You will come and be visiting. My house is open for you. You will come. He said no. He said no. He will write. He will go to court. My daddy said no. You know, my dad is a very peaceful man. He's very quiet. Oh, boy, the man will do. My dad will say, okay, whatever you want. If it's court, let's go to court. That was in September. In October, I can't remember the date. I saw a court order. Someone me to court for custody of our only child. Yes, it was 19th of October 2016. I will appear in court 19th or 2016 of October 2016. I will appear in court for custody of the child. Unknown to me, I don't know what happened. On the 20th of that October, my ex-husband was attacked in his house. Armed robbers, unknown men, came to attack him in his house. They cut his head with cutlass. They did this, and they went away with his Range Rover Jeep. I personally, in that night, they called me. The neighbors called me. When I was in the room, I was sleeping. They called me, your husband, think so, has been attacked. Immediately I went to my daddy. See what I'm hearing. We looked at the time, it was to 11. You see how he got lucky. My dad says, even we that we are going to the Lekki to rescue him, we don't know what we will see on the road. Tell the neighbors, if they can take him to a hospital nearby, we will come in the morning. I related the message with the neighbor. I said, I can't come, I'm no longer living there. Please help me take him to the hospital. They said the first hospital, he was actually brutally beaten up. They said the first hospital they took him to, there was, the hospital rejected him because of the amount of blood he was losing. They said they were going to Island Hospital. At the end of the day, they ended up in Faith City Hospital in VI. That's the family hospital we used to use. At about 4 in the morning, I got a call from Faith City Hospital asking for my whereabouts because it's very unusual. Your husband is brought. You were not beside him. I told them I was coming. I went to my office as usual. I collected permission that I'm going to see this man I've been separated for 10 years. Before then, I went to the office. Before I got to the office, my dad was already there. I called his elder brother. I said, they go to hear no. See what I heard. Tochuko has been attacked by armed robbers. Come and follow me. Let us go and see him. I waited for him in Bagada. That's where my office was located. He came to join me in the car. We went to the hospital. My dad was there. I called the account officer. The hospital called me. They needed a deposit of about 500,000 before they could fix it. I called his account officer. Please come and meet us in the hospital. It's a story, so you have to follow it so that you understand why I have to dance. I called the account officer. Please, they're asking for so and so amount. Please come and meet us in the hospital. Before I was there, the account officer was there. They brought the money to him. They treated him. They started treating him. By the time I arrived, my daddy now asked him, he had already recuperated. My daddy asked him, have you reported the case to the police? He said no. This, my father, took the account officer's manager, there's the account, not the account officer, the manager of the branch, took him to the police station, covering that his area. He lives in Agongi Lekki. Covering that his area. My dad was the one who reported this armed robbery case that I was charged for to the police. My dad reported it to the police that his son-in-law has been attacked by armed robbers yesterday. The police came back to the hospital. I wrote the first statement according to what he told us, that he came back from work. He noticed that he overnight he slept with generator. So when he left, he did not change over. So when he came back, there was darkness in his own house. He lived in a duplex. There was darkness in his own house, so there was light. So he said when he drove into the garage, he noticed, because your headlights are up, he noticed some shadows. By the time he went to change over, they started attacking him. So that was how he was attacked. That's the story he told us. I told that same story to the police, who told me to be the attacker. I told the story. I wrote down what he told me. I wrote it down. They said they needed to see the evidence of the house. I drove them to the house. On my way, my daddy said he's going back to Ayobo. Ayobo is far. I drove them with the brother, Tochiku's brother, in the car. On the way, the brother was calling the mother. I am on my way to Tochiku's house with the police and the wife. Then they were still calling the wife. With the wife to the house, they want to see the compound. They went there. We saw the cutlass they used. We saw blood, everything on the floor. The police did their investigation. I carried myself. I carried the brother. On our way, they said they had recovered the vehicle at Ijebu. They stopped and searched. They saw the vehicle. So I had to go to the police station. That's the police station. We're looking at how we can recover the car. We went there. They asked for so and so amount. I didn't have it. It was strange to me, so I didn't. It wasn't like my husband. I told the brother, this is where my line is run. You guys continue. But I went back to work. I took 2 days off to nurse him. 2 days. I took 2 days off. I got a query for not coming back to the office that same day. I took 2 days. I nursed him. He started begging, hey, you that you're not my wife, you came to heal me. You came to do this. I said, because you are the father of my child, and I don't have anything against you, I will do it. I did it. That was on the 20, he was attacked on the 20, 22, 23, Daddy, right? Okay, Daddy's not here. 23, there was a knock at my gate, 11 something, pop, pop, pop. I said, who is that? He says, Tochiko. I said, at this time of the night, I went, I saw him with some men. They said, are you Oluchi? I said, yes. They said the police station, the DPO in Ayobo is looking, it needs my attention. I said, this night. Me, I thought he's our usual gragra, because there's so many times he will just come, he will decide, oh, I've kidnapped his daughter. They will take me to police. I will come back, I will tell the DPO, this daughter they are taking and kidnapped is also my daughter. I live in Ayobo, he lives in Lekki. So me, I thought he's our regular backbone. Immediately, Daddy said he's following me. Immediately I got there, they brought out the ID card, They are from state CID Abeokuta. I'm under arrest. I said, for what? He said, when I get there, I will know. I started crying as usual. Daddy said, no problem. I followed them. They went to policemen. They said, if I don't follow, they were on my phone. They took my phone immediately from me. They took my phone. There was a woman police that if I don't follow them, they brought out their gun. You better cooperate with us. My daddy said, follow them. He was at my back. We drove all the way to Ogun State at that night. About 3, I got to Ogun State. I told them, okay, what is the problem? And they said, madam, when you hear the case, I hope you will know. I said, tell me the case. They said, do I know one Chigozie? Do I know one Chigozie warrior? I said, I don't know Chigozie. They opened their file. They said, do I know one Smart? I said, yes, I know Smart. He's the agent that used to supply us with domestic help, driver and housemaid. They said, no, why don't I know Chigozie? That his full name is Chigozie Smart Warrior. You don't know my full name. I'm very sure some of you don't know my middle name. So his middle name is Chigozie. I don't know him as Chigozie. I know him as Smart. They said, what's my relationship with him? I said, he's the agent that used to give us domestic this thing. They said, madam, you are accused of armed robbery. They didn't say armed robbery. They said attempted murder. I started laughing because it's not what I can do. They said, madam, you they laugh. Not be you be your girl wife. I said, yes. They said, now you organize them, make them come. I said, maybe it's not me. I'm a girl wife, but baby, so I was laughing. I thought it was child's play. It was not child's play. The issue has started. Let me not call it problem. It started that night. They locked me up. I didn't know.